Malinsky. To Hermansen. I find it fascinating that Iceland decided not to go with their tallest player, the young prospect, Hermansen. It's turnover again here. This way and that. Papanikolaou cues it up and Kalatis will just bank it in off the glass.
It's a difficult decision to coach Pedersen with the guards like Larsen. He's only played the game for 4 years, and to drop a young guy into a pressure cooker like this, it's a make or breaker with a player sometimes. So sometimes it's easier to ease them in during the game.
Yeah, that's right. Fascinating story behind Larsen. He grew up in a remote part of Iceland, didn't pick up and play basketball until 2014. Lucis collects another rebound. I have a feeling his board count's going to be impressive.
I think so. He might not be getting the points at the moment, but you have a feeling that the rebound totals are going to be there.
Well, it's 9 rebounds for Greece, just the one for Iceland. Speaking of Trippy, Larsen. Off goes Byrington.
And from Iceland, number 54.
Now that is a welcome to EuroBasket, having a go. One of the most experienced players in the tournament in Barousis.
Some of these performances in the pre-tournament build-up, which has been catching the eye, and Larsen that is. Papanikolaou. And there's Larsen into the action, and hear the roar. The Icelandic fans know all about him and his story. He wants to be a player that will lead Iceland for many years to come.
That'll settle the nerves. Coming on and getting your first defensive play to be a block. That'll settle some of the nerves he'll have been feeling. Huge potential for this young man, but let's see how he can take on EuroBasket 2017 as his first big challenge.
A couple of free throws here for Iceland. Malinsky drains the first. Good work in defensive quarters by Barousis, and suddenly it looks like it's 3-on-2, and put down, two-handed for the dunk by Papanikolaou. Stefansson puts up a jumper. 5-point game, 2 minutes 30 left on the clock in this first quarter. Who's going to be the happier coach so far?
I think the Greek coach will be happier. They've not particularly played well. They're still 5 points ahead. So I think, Coach Missas will be the happier. That said, I think Greece, they need to do more than just win this game. They need to make sure that they find some kind of rhythm and some kind of form, and use it to that advantage. Whereas Iceland, they're here to upset the party, that's for sure.
Papas into the lane, back outside, Papanikolaou. Just holding off Hermansen, puts up a little jumper and knocks it down. Well, it's the first game of EuroBasket 2017 for Greece, and they want to put out a statement here. As will Iceland for that matchup, and they already have. Stefansson. Pavel Malinsky. To the corner, tough shot to make. Papas. Maxim did his best to try and block the shot. It's the first timeout called. It's Iceland that called it.
Interesting there as well that, as I said, the Greeks weren't having a great fortune in using the bigs. So they've now started to put a little bit of pace behind the game, using some of their guards to penetrate, to get the ball up the floor a bit quicker. And that seems to be having more effect on the Icelandic team than just that slow, arduous kind of backing your way to the basket kind of basketball. Iceland seem to be prepared and ready for that battle. Interesting to see if Greece continue to use maybe some more speed elements of the game to increase their
dribble out Jon into the low post, okay? Dribble out Jon.
Εντάξει, όποτε είναι δυναμικά πρέπει να βάλω πάντα την καρφώσα του πάνω. Μένουμε στο κομμάτι της άμυνας, δικές σου, παραλαμβάνω, οπότε έχουμε rebound, ξαναλυσίδι, διαδρόμησης, θα και τρέχουμε. Εντάξει, πάμε να κάνουμε με το... με το pick and roll, θέλω να αρχίσουμε το Γιώργο.
Yeah, absolutely it does. Without a doubt, it tells you exactly Iceland's kind of game plan. They're going to harass and put Greece under as much pressure as they possibly can and hope that Greece make mistakes. As you can hear the noise from the crowd, Iceland absolutely the heaviest supported team here in Helsinki Arena in the opening game of EuroBasket for Iceland.
Loki Gunnarsson has come on for Iceland. I think that they'll be able to keep it up for the 40 minutes, this kind of high-tempo, frenetic style.
I think they'll have to, and I think they're determined to. I don't think, as much as you can question on paper the talent of the Iceland team compared to Greece, I don't think you're going to challenge their passion and their desire and their drive to come out and work as hard as they possibly can for the time they're on the floor. I think that seems to be a common trend within the Iceland roster, that as soon as they step on that court, they're in it fully for their team.
Nikos Papas at the line. Two from two for Greece. And they have an 11-point lead. Here in the end of the first quarter. That's great work from Kalatis. How did they keep that in play? And it's finished off by Printesis. Turnover leads to points.
Interesting. Greece are continuing to apply the pressure, and they're starting to increase this lead through their backcourt rather than their front court.
Stefancic. Tricky Gunnarsson manages to keep the ball in play.
Stepped on the line.
Substitution for Team Greece in number 17, Vangelis Mantsaris.
First step onto the court for Vangelis Mantsaris.
Definitely something Greece aren't short of, high-quality point guards. They're able to rotate through that position quite easily.
Here's Papas. Giannis. And tipped in beautifully by Printesis.
Yorgos Printesis, 2 points.
Pressure really on Iceland now. To the corner. Stefancic.
Foul Greece,
Mantsaris, the new arrival on the court.
Vangelis Mantsaris.
It's going to be an interesting battle between, kind of ruins that one. Clanassen's now been taken off, but when Klanassen and Papagiannis go against each other, it's going to be an interesting battle. Two young centres, very hot prospects. Papagiannis, the highest drafted Greek player into the NBA with the Sacramento Kings, and obviously Klanassen just signing his first big professional contract, moving to Valencia in the Spanish ACB. So two really bright big men on show today.
What a big season that'll be for Gunnarsson, signing for the Spanish champions. In the meantime, here's Paulsen on the edge of the perimeter. And that is stunning.
Wow, what a play! Paulsen just going to the basket with strength. Nothing in his mind there but the two-handed jam.
Papas down the other end, immediately drains.
And that's the way you reply to a dunk. Huge three-point shot there by Papas. Two highlight plays back-to-back.
Right at the end of the quarter as well. And, well, that was some very high-quality basketball from both sides of the court. Just about beat the buzzer. So, Greece will be happy. They lead 26-10.
We need to play more aggressive. Right now we're doing this, the ball gets stuck and we got one guy going one-on-one for 8 seconds. That's not doing it for us against them. That's it.
start. Greece looking well ahead after the first quarter.
Yeah, an impressive opening 10 minutes of EuroBasket 2017 for Greece, for sure. 16-point lead. After a bit of a hesitant start, they've really found their form. Pantesis there with the three open things up for them. But Iceland can't be underestimated. They have the ability to score, and they've unnerved Greece in certain moments of the game.
I mentioned before they lost their 5 games at EuroBasket 2015, but some of those were very tough. One of the games went to overtime.
Yeah, against Turkey, and obviously Turkey hosting the finals this year. They really are one of the powerhouses of basketball in Europe, so that was a big, big game for Iceland.
We're expecting fireworks from Iceland in Group A. And a team that are tough to beat. Greece at the moment, though, are showing how to do it. Second quarter gets underway then. There's no way at all to silence the Icelandic fans. Pulsen to Loki Kanasin. Warrington's back on now, Kanasin back on the bench, as we said. Papas for Greece. And backs it in off the glass. Classy stuff.
2 points.
Warrington with the pass. That's back outside. Pulsen for 3. We've seen him drain 1 from way downtown. Couldn't make it this time.
Beddington working so hard for Iceland, not quite getting the role at the moment.
Changes coming thick and fast. So without Janis Telekoupo. His older brothers here. Thanasis. He enters the fray.
Makes a substitution from Team Iceland in number 3, Ida Steinarsson.
Trip to the free throw line for Kostas Papanikolaou.
Mistakes like that Iceland really can't allow to happen. You know, where it should be an easy rebound to set them on their way. They allow just to bounce back out. Greece gain possession and then they foul as well.
That's pushing up to 2 personal fouls. He's one of their star performers. They'll want to be careful. Here's Papas. That's good work at the boards, and it's Pulsen. From range, good! And what?
What a play by Vilhelmsson there. 4-point play opportunity now. Just so cool, calm, under such pressure as he's taking that shot. Gets it to go.
First personal foul. 1 shot, Williamson.
Misses just having a word in the ear of one of the officials. Wilhelmsson to add the 4th. Yeah. Saris. Papas back to Nantzaris. There's the foul.
Foul, Iceland number 3.
Like we see the quality of the whole Greek roster, they've rotated a lot in the period.
It's definitely one of the advantages they're going to have in this tournament, that they're pretty comfortable across the board, all the way down their bench, to give minutes to the majority of their roster.
It's nice to get a first feel of the basketball. Big competition like this. Here's Paulsen. Looking for support. Helmchen to Iceland.
Great play there by Berlington, forcing Antetokounmpo down into the low post where he doesn't want to be battling.
First personal foul, second team foul.
It's great Pettis. Michael Paulsen puts up a little jump shot too. Misses out. Mansaris. Taking it from the backcourt. Good interception. Hermansen. Still keeping up that frenetic pace. Sometimes it works, sometimes it really doesn't.
Oh,
Clever idea, just didn't quite come off. Helmchen left the ball behind.
a little bit scrappy at this moment. Both teams struggling to gain control of the game.
Steinarsson. Just work his way into the gap there.
That's a great play by Steinarsson. Such a size difference as he goes in amongst the trees. Manages to draw the contact and get to the line for the two shots.
Personal foul, 13 foul, substitution for Team Iceland, unit number 9, Stefansson. 2 shots,
Stefansson. Fences out there. The start of the second quarter has been good for Iceland. They're 4-3 up in this quarter.
Varied career for Steinarsson. Played in Spain, in Iceland, in Sweden. Literally just signed for Castello in Leb Gold in Spain. So he'll be looking forward to a new challenge in his professional career. Not what you want to see though. Any player shooting an air from the free throw line. Nerves getting to Steinarsson.
Petru. Rotations continue to come for Greece. Now Antetokounmpo. Papas. Antetokounmpo. And now from outside Mansaris! Drains the three.
That's absolutely the key for Greece. The patience on that offense. They just took their time, made sure they knew they were going to get an open shot at some point within that shot clock.
Paulsen. Also for three. Was fouled in the process of taking the shot, so he'll get a trip to the line for 3 free throws. Second personal foul for Papa Petru.
Second personal foul, 3 shots. Iceland 24.
An impressive EuroBasket in 2015, averaged 12.8 points per game for Iceland. So an important part of their offensive puzzle.
He's on 5 points for now, chance to add to that tally. Clapped enthusiastically by the Iceland band of support. They really do start me up. Passionate support is something we're going to see a theme of in Helsinki this week. Later on tonight, we've got Susi Yengi, the Wolf Pack of Finland, in the house. Looking forward to that one very much as they take on France.
This is one of the least subtle fouls contested. Literally just shoves Berrington out of the way. Not sure if he ever thought he was going to get away with that one.
That was the most blatant push.
Greece being in foul trouble sent Berrington to the line for 2.
Number 15, and from Greece, number 9, Yannis Bourousis.
He's primarily known as a defensive specialist. Numerous player awards in his domestic professional career. Iceland will lean heavy on him in this tournament with regards to the rebounding side of the game.
Makes both free throws.
Substitution at Team
Iceland
Iceland.
really have responded well in the second quarter. They're down by 16 at the end of the first. 3 up in the second. Christopher Acox has just come on for Iceland. Here's Papas.
Foul. Iceland. Number 1, Martin Hermansson. Second personal foul, fourth team foul.
And Zaris to inbound, finds Georgios Printesis. Iceland's so quick, they've got a lot of pace in this. Not much space, especially in the congested lane, but there is a little out on the perimeter. Not that Dennis Papapetru could make use of it that time.
Foul Iceland, number 1, Martin Hermansson. Third personal foul.
For
Two
Martin
shots,
Hermansson.
wins number 11, Nikos
6 minutes
Papas.
to go in the second quarter. Might just think about subbing him out.
It's definitely going to be critical for Iceland throughout the tournament to manage their foul situation.
Substitution Iceland in number
Essentially,
13,
Coach Pedersen
Hordur Williamson.
makes the change.
There's 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. Both teams are in foul trouble. Here's Acox. Ermolinski. Acox, that's a good pass. Good vision to pick out Paulson, who draws the foul.
Strong play by Paulson, got his man up in the air, waited for that contact to draw the foul.
Ioannis Papapetru. Third personal foul, 2 shots. Iceland at 24, Veikur Palsson.
Both teams are getting plenty of practice from the free throw line at the moment. Iceland at 8 from 11. Greece 4 from 6 in the game so far. And Paulson's into double digits.
Interesting to see, definitely part of the Icelandic play is to draw those fouls and particularly draw them in shooting situations. And play on that, get to the line, get the easy shots on the charity stripe.
Zaris under pressure from Wilhelmsen.
Looks like a man possessed on the defensive end, coming with so much energy.
He really does. Barousis has the vision to pick out Papas on the perimeter. What a block from Acox, but it might still fall here for Greece. No, it doesn't. And that's wonderful defensive work from Iceland. Now Paulson on the front court. Another board for Barousis. He's racking them up now. Up to 5. Here's Papas. From the perimeter. This is everything.
Interesting there by Papas. As soon as he missed that air ball, looked to the bench, asked for himself to be subbed out of the game. Not sure if that's a psychological thing, just really disappointed in himself, or whether there's any other issues there.
Iceland really acquitting themselves well in this second quarter. They're up by 4, but still in the game, trailing by 12. Acox to Paulson. Tries a jumper and drains it. Greece have called the timeout.
Great play by Paulson there. He takes himself up to a 12 personal and gives the Icelandic fans something really to cheer about and get behind their team now. Down to just a 10-point ball game. Greek nerves will start jangling as Iceland are on the ascendancy.
Also for Dance Team Finland. Hit it, girls.
Paulson, that jumper. Standing motivation the whole Icelandic team
Χωρίς κρίκο, score dribbling, passa, gol de reloj, ahí luego te quedas que no llega.
I'm glad I can't speak for you, probably my first comment, because I don't think he'll be the most pleasant of words that he'll be trading with his team right now. He can't be happy with how they're allowing Iceland to dictate an awful lot of the game. Greece in the offensive end, they're moving the ball quite well, and I think quick enough. They're not swift enough with their passing. They get double teamed by the Iceland defence, but they're not moving the ball quick enough to find the open man on the perimeter. If they can do that, they'll get open shots, and I think that's part of what they need to do on the offensive end. On the defensive end, they just seem to be playing maybe a little bit slower tempo. Prime example, Wilhelmsson. The energy and the enthusiasm that he's bringing to the defensive end for Iceland. Greece could replicate that a little bit and bring up their levels. I think they'll see a change pretty quickly.
We asked whether Iceland could keep up those levels, and we got the answer so far. They've stepped it up in the second quarter. Response from the coaches to bring back the experience of Kalatis. Foul for charging.
Nicolau there, great stand on the defensive end. Stephenson with a great stand, beautiful defensive play. Coach Bissas puts his hands to the air, wondering what his team needs to do to actually find some momentum in this game. But again, Iceland continues to chip away both ends of the floor.
Talented player to defence, and he's 34 now. He won the FIBA EuroBasket back in 2005 with Dynamo St. Petersburg. As I said, he's part of that KR side that won this year's Icelandic Championship as well. Hoping to guide Iceland to some wins here at EuroBasket 2017.
Much as you kind of say that the Icelandic team are the underdogs, you know, they do have some pedigree in the team with guys with serious experience, you know.
Come on, girls, you can do it, come on.
Prime example, he's got NBA experience, he's played NBA Summer League, he was, you know, picked up by the Dallas Mavericks. Yeah, his NBA career didn't take off, but he wouldn't have even been in that picture if he didn't have some real talent.
Malinsky in possession. Acox. Lovely bounce pass, gets to the rim, puts it up and in off the glass.
Great backdoor play, sees the man make the move. Slukas is left in his wake as he gets to the basket for the easy two.
It's an 8-point game. Barousis, Kalatis. He's looking for some kind of a response here to an Icelandic team who have dominated this second quarter. I'm not exaggerating, they're up 15-7 and they're on the offense again.
Oh, Wilhelmsson so wanted to let go of that one, he was determined.
Wilhelmsson goes for it, just left it short. Acox couldn't gather, and Kalatis comes to the front court for Greece. Barousis. Pushed out of the lane, now trying to push his way back in. Nicolau. It's lost by Barousis again. This is Ermolinski, Pulsen, Stefansson.
That's turnover number 12 for the Greek team.
Ermolinski into the lane, another little bounce pass. They're working it low, and it is working. Christopher Acox this time banks it in, and Iceland are within 6.
Every basket you're hearing the noise ratchet up a few decibels in the arena. It's great to see the underdogs really putting a powerhouse of basketball under pressure. Only a 6-point ball game. I think even the most ardent Icelandic fans will be very, very happy with the situation at the moment as their team are coming back into this.
Oh, this is incredible. Iceland are on fire.
But again, as we've said, the 12 turnovers for Greece, which resulted in 10 points for Iceland. It's tough, you know, you can't turn the ball over that much, but Greece seem to keep going down the same angle, banging their heads against this. Let's get the ball in the post, let's use our size advantage. When actually their most profitable part of the game has been when they exploit their guards, they move the ball quickly, they up the tempo of the game. That's when they've made Iceland have problems defensively. Putting it into the low post, no problem at all. Iceland on the 8-0 run because Greece continue to pound away in the low post. Iceland happy to double down, cause pressure on Barousis, and he's happy to keep spilling the ball.
Incredible defensive work from Iceland. Constant turnovers. Pulsion and Phil Helmsley with the points. Pulsion's on 12. On a run of 8-0. That's what the crowd think. That's what Kostas Kavitsas thinks of it. He's not happy. 3 minutes to go until half-time. 3 minutes since their last score. Slukas. Barousis this time gets the decision.
Foul Iceland number 30.
Barren spell in the second quarter.
Second personal foul. 2 shots, Yannis Barousis.
He is absolutely having a game he wants to forget pretty quickly, Barousis.
He's having a torrid time with it.
He absolutely is. Made an interesting move this summer, moving to the CBA in China to play for the Southern Tigers. I imagine there's a hefty cash incentive to making that kind of move for a player like Barousis, who is a high-profile player.
Acox.
Too quick with his feet, didn't get the ball down quick enough. Saw the gap and tried to step through it before he could get his dribble established.
Yeah, see it clearly on the replay. A little pat on the back for Barousis. He's so experienced. Imagine he can deal with it. Slukas. Little jumper from the key.
Unbelievable run for Iceland. Things were going strict not so long ago for Greece. Whereas it's quickly becoming unpicked, and Iceland are really capitalising.
Second quarter so far. Iceland 17, Greece 7. That's a good pass. There's Phil Helmsley. He's been at the heart of much of the good in Iceland's play. Malinsky to Byringson. Waits for the support of Pulsion. Gets around Barousis.
Icelandic players asking for the continuation, and I think the crowd agree with the boos that are raining down onto the officials at the moment. They were saying that Palsson was in the act of shooting, so wanted him to go for the and one play. Instead, Greece were in the foul trouble, so he'll go to the line for 2 shots instead.
Papas, Greece's highest scorer in the game so far with 12 points, has come up on court.
And again, I think that tells you all you need to know about what Greece need to do. Papas, small, quick, crafty guard. He's their top scorer. They need to go to him. They need to look to exploit that more.
4-point game now. Less than 2 minutes to go until half-time. 10 points without reply for Iceland. Here's Kostas Slukas. Kalatis. That's good off balance, or it looked like it was from Barousis, but in the end he's thrown the ball away, and now Pulsion brings it forward for Iceland. Stefansson from range. Can't get it to fall. And Barousis gets another defensive rebound. Kalatis takes Greece to the front court. Tries to go it alone.
And that is how Greece are going to get control of this game again. Up-tempo, quick guards, taking it to the basket strong. That's where they need to be going. That's what's going to cause Iceland some problems. Iceland at the moment, they're happy to double down on the defensive end. They're happy to just completely crowd the post. Whereas they seem to struggle to defend the quick penetration from the Greek guards. I'd love to say the Greek players are being affected by the crowd, but these guys play in front of crowds that are an awful lot louder than this.
Well, it's incredible. Greece have made just 4 of their 10 free throws. Here's Pulsion for 3. Could have made it a 1-point game. So nearly did. But the possession will stay with Iceland.
Foul on Greece, number 15, EuroBasket. Second personal foul. 2 shots. Iceland, number 8,
Going to run the increase.
Substitution of
Half time, but it can't come to it.
No, absolutely not. That said, I think they'd hope to at least get another score on the board before half-time comes around. Otherwise, that really is a tough locker room to walk back into. I think games like this just reiterate how competitive this group in Helsinki is going to be.
2 from 2 for Byrington.
Both free throws are good.
Great to hear the defence chants from the Icelandic fans ringing out around the arena, getting behind their team as fully as they can.
Pass this time, being hurried by the Icelandic defence. That's more like it. Georgios Princesis moves into double digits himself and restores Greece's 4-point lead. First points in more than 5 minutes for the Greeks.
Unbelievable defensive effort for Iceland to keep a team like Greece at bay for that long. What a play by Barrington. Gets the 3 off, fouled by Baroussis. He'll go to the line for 3 shots. What a crazy play by Baroussis. Someone of so much experience knows you don't foul the shooter. You don't need to run out that hard on the shooter. Sends Barrington to the line. He can bring this down to a 1-point ball.
Situation's been good. Some contrast in Greece. 13.
Number 3, Iceland and Greece.
Icelandic fans willing the ball through the hoop, and it's working. He's on for 3 from 3. This for a 1-point game. He can't make it, not this time.
There's definitely a psychological advantage for Greece if they can maintain this lead going into the locker room at the half. That gives them some form of positive to take from the second quarter, which there are not many.
Slukas for 3. Won't fall. Greece maintain possession as they may still get one more score for half-time. Looks as if Princesis. Shot clock down to 3. Slukas, good. And a little boost for Greece just before the buzzer. At half-time, Greece's lead has been shaved. They led by 16 at the end of the first quarter. At half-time, they lead by just 4. 37-33 to the Greeks.
One more. Come on, hit it, girls.
What a first couple.
Absolutely. It's not great as a commentator to be left speechless, but unbelievable. What a game of 2 halves already in the first half. Iceland were under the cosh in the first quarter against Greece. They were feeling the pressure, whereas it all changed in the second quarter and Iceland stepped up their game. Some of the stats are completely deceiving, so Iceland only 10 rebounds to Greece 25, but it hasn't shown on the court. The big issue that Greece have had is the turnovers. 13 turnovers, and they're all sloppy mistakes. Yes, they're being put under pressure by Iceland, but not to the extent where they should be just turning the ball over, stepping out of bounds. A big second half now in front of us.
Nobody expected, Al. For the first quarter, it looked like Greece were going to go into half-time with an extremely comfortable lead, but it's certainly not the case. And in fact, Iceland might have thought for a moment they might have got into half-time with the lead. We talked about how Iceland are looking for their first EuroBasket win. Could it even come today?
As I said in the build-up, if it does come today, it is one of the biggest upsets in recent EuroBasket history. A nation of only 330,000 people, like you say, 1% of whom are probably in this building right now cheering their team on, to overturn what is one of the powerhouses and historic nations within world basketball, not just European basketball, world basketball. And it's not like the Greek roster is weakened in any particular way. You've got guys that have got multiple EuroLeague titles in there. You've got guys that have got basketball Champions League titles. You've just got a team that are fully rounded in the honours that they've received and the experience they've got. Don't get me wrong, they're still up by 4 points, and you'd still have them as heavy favourites to win the game. But hey, Iceland are really stepping up to the plate right now.
Well, the second half, I think it goes without saying, is going to be unmissable. That first half has been gripping from start to finish. Mark, run me through it. Who do you think have been the main influences, particularly for Iceland? Let's talk about Iceland first.
Well, I think on the Iceland side of things, you can't look away from Palsson. 14 points, and he scored across the floor. So he can shoot the longer range shot, he can get to the basket, draw contact, he's using his bigger frame, one of the bigger guys in the Icelandic team to its fullest effect. But the player that I'm really liking the look of is Vilhelmsson. And it's not necessarily what he's doing, it's how he's doing it. So he's coming with so much energy, so much enthusiasm and passion to be on this court and to go out and try and win that game, that it's picking up not just his teammates, but the entire crowd around him as well. So he's been great and influential for the Icelandic team. On the Greek side, I think the disappointment is Barousis. He's had an awful lot of the ball in his hands and he's struggled to do anything with it. Yes, Iceland have doubled down on him, but Greeks haven't countered that. He's not kicked the ball back out to find open players. So you just look at the stats, the likes of Pappas with leading them with 12 points. They're primarily driving to the basket or jump shots. It's not back to the basket play that's getting them their points. And Prentisis with 11 points, he's started to produce. And again, he's your rough and ready kind of player. He'll just get the job done. He opened their scoring with a big three, but he's just there to get the job done, whether that's inside or outside. He'll look to score for you.
Be interesting to talk about the leaders of the two teams. I think we were expecting to see a lot more of Tryggvi Hlynarson than we have done. The young prospect guy who's basically been taking the headlines for us. He's only been on the court for 3 minutes, and instead we've seen a lot of the captain, Byrington, in that big man role, and he's stepped up to the plate. He's led by example. Barousis, he's captain of Greece. I wonder in the second half, do you think Kostas Misses will take him out of the firing line? We won't see Barousis on the court?
I don't think it'll happen. I think what you'll see with Barousis, and to be honest, for the longer term, when you're looking further down the line, it's important that it doesn't happen. Barousis needs to find his form. He needs to get into the game.
Well, what a first half. Make sure you don't miss the second. Half-time score, Greece 37, Iceland 33.
Me uskomme yhteyksien voimaan, niiden rakentamiseen laitteilla ja liittymillä. Mutta vasta sinun käsissäsi ne heräävät eloon. Sinä päätät, mihin niitä käytät. Puhutko päälle vai kuunteletko? Haukotko vai osaatko kannustaa? Pidätkö yhteyttä, vaikka toinen on kaukana? Yhteydet tuovat meidät lähemmäksi toisiamme. Käytetään niitä hyvään, niin hyvää seuraa. Löydä uusi yhteys. Telia.
Se tuntuu tosi vapauttavalta, että siinä voi unohtaa kaiken muun. Keskittyy vaan siihen ja se on niinku tosi kivaa. Murheet ja kaikki vaan niinku lähtee pois sillä. Sellainen fiilis, minkä haluaa tuntea aina.
Uusi johtajuus on saapunut. Se ei käytä valtaa, vaan uskoo kykyyn luoda uutta. Se näyttää tietä, eikä jätä ketään jälkeen.
Niin. Nu talent.
Uusi Insignia. Johtavaa teknologiaa jokaiselle. Opel, the future is everyone's. Koe täysin uusi Insignia Sports Tourer. Tervetuloa koeajamaan.
Well, welcome back to Helsinki, Finland for this Group A game between Greece and Iceland. What a game this one is turning out to be. At the halfway stage, potential shock. Greece are ahead, but only by 4. Given the fact they're up by 16 at the end of the first quarter, the momentum is certainly on the Icelandic side. You could argue half-time has come at a good time for Kostas Missas' side. And we'll see in the second half whether Greece are able to stop the rot. We could have history in the making, Mark. Iceland eyeing up a first ever EuroBasket win.
Absolutely. They've done everything they've needed to in the first half. After what was a slow start, they've picked up the pace and picked up the tempo on both ends of the floor, which is a critical aspect for Iceland. Looking at the Greek side, however, the big thing for them is they need to look after the ball. They turned the ball over way too many times, which has led to an awful lot of points for the Icelandic team. And it's simple mistakes. So you'd hope they've just taken half-time as a reset button and they'll come back out in the second half. The Greeks were really expected to turn.
Run heading, that head play again, okay? So,
here's the man trying to block the
when Martin curls off of Hoiker, he's going to pop. Look to see if it's there, right? If it's not, yeah, it's going to be down here, sorry. Okay, he's going to pop. If it's not there, screen for Hoiker. Hoiker's coming off a handoff, all right? When you hand it off, put the dive. All right? Be aggressive. We need to be aggressive.
Yeah, I think so. I think it really does come down to that picture. Nothing to fear for Iceland coming into it. So facing teams like Greece, they come out, they work as hard as they can.
Πάει μπάλα μέσα και με το που πάει μέσα ανέβασε την here. He's going to go inside.
Noise if you like, Helsinki. Come on. Thank you. Thank you, Bogdan.
The experience of number 8, Byrington, is easy to be key.
The second half is about to begin between Iceland and Greece.
Greece, though, they've got so much quality, so much experience. By 4 coming into the second half. So back underway here in the third quarter. Iceland against Greece, their first games in EuroBasket 2017. Kalatis in possession of the ball. Finds Kostas Slukas. Now Barousis, he had a torrid time in the first half, but immediately helps himself to an assist, queuing it up for Kostas Papanikolaou to bank it in.
It's really back to basics for Greece. That's going to be the key for them to see off Iceland and take the win.
Byrington goes for it. Just dropped a little short. Papanikolaou cues up Kalatis. Barousis in the thick of things again.
Barousis with another turnover. That's his 5th personal turnover of the game. Not a stat that any player wants to see on their box score.
Hermanship to Byrington. All of his 6 points have come from the free throw line. Here's Pavel Ermolinski now. And he was crowded out there, and here come Greece on the fast break. Sportsmanlike foul's been called here.
Unsportsmanlike foul.
Interesting call. Be interesting to see the replay and how that goes. Good defense by Greece, forcing the turnover. Yeah, there's no real play at the ball.
2 shots.
Wilhelmsen, who we were praising for his first half performance.
I think Wilhelmsen's playing on the fact that he's not the last man, but his foul there was really no attempt to touch the ball. He just wanted to stop the transition.
Well, Greece will want to improve their free throw percentage, which was below 50% in the first half. Papanikolaou makes the first. And the second, and Greece will have possession.
Seems to be a calmer feeling about the Greek team as they've come out less under pressure, less nervous about it. They seem an air of confidence return to the team.
Half-time did come at a good time for them. Kalatis drains the three, and Greece have a double-digit lead again. And this time it's Iceland who throw possession away. Turnover. Papanikolaou chasing the long pass. And then another turnover, and it's that man Wilhelmsen again. What a pass, saw the space. Hermansen rims out. Well, they calmed it, but only for a minute. And it all became very frenetic again. Kalatis. Printesis. Second no run for Greece in the third quarter. But it has been scrappy at times, this contest. Wilhelmsen.
Iceland will have to assert themselves on this game pretty soon if they're to keep Greece under check.
Byrington into the lane, throws up a hook. Lukas gets the rebound. Kalatis was open, Printesis is another option. And that's just been stolen so calmly and casually by Wilhelmsen, who's having a stormer. Well, he was. That was the curse of the commentators. He threw the ball away.
I think it's one of those, we talked about in the half-time break, he gives so much energy and so much passion, sometimes that just kind of spills over a little bit, and a rash decision there on the pass.
Yeah, you've got to take the rough of this move with Wilhelmsen. Slukas.
Great defensive play by Berringson.
What a block that was. Hermansen with a free rein at the baseline, but stepped out.
Steps out of bounds. Surprisingly, such a common mistake within basketball, at every level as well. That's great defense by Iceland from Berringson, tracking the smaller Slukas all the way to the basket.
You mentioned Byrington's defensive qualities in the first half, and they came to the fore then. Paulson got up on the floor there.
Trying to take the charge, but the referee saying he was still moving forward when contact was made. Tough call, that could have been given either way. Alson just looking at the referee, not sure that he's made the right call.
Meanwhile, Printesis has stepped out, and Thanasis Antetokounmpo's on. Iceland giving away the ball in their own backcourt. Kalatis, quality. And we've come to expect from Nick Kalatis. If there's one man who's going to provide a calming influence to Greece, it's probably him.
Yeah, absolutely. Veteran head. Controls an awful lot of things for Greece, particularly since the retirement of Spanoulis on the international stage. 9 points now, 5 rebounds. He's building towards an impressive personal stat line.
At the point, don't help with the ball. You got to help with the ball also, you guys, okay? Hey, listen, we go back to playing some horns. All right, you can enter either spot. All right, enter either spot. Martin, you can enter a hawk, okay? Go get it, all right, and attack, or you can fake it out here and come off the screen.
First half.
Okay? Hey, keep being active on defense. We're getting some stops.
Again, interesting there to look at the turnover situation. Iceland now starting to turn the ball over a little bit more. Greece trying to be a little bit firmer in their possession of the ball.
Dance Team Finland, everybody. Thank you, ladies. Thank you.
Critical phase of the game now. 13-point lead for Greece. 7 minutes left in the third quarter. Iceland really need to stem the flow and yeah, make their mark here in the third quarter.
Here's Hermansen. Under pressure from Kalatis. Taking a page out of Wilhelmsen's book there. Byrington to Paulson.
That's very close to an unsportsmanlike foul. Be interested to see how the referees call this one. Yeah, unsportsmanlike foul has been called against Maroussis. Just too aggressive. It's really the unnecessary force that the referees have adjudicated there to call that unsportsmanlike foul. Maroussis walking away a little bit confused. But really, a player of that experience knows that if you go into, defensive situation like that, you have that potential to have an unsportsmanlike call against you.
His afternoon's not getting too much better. Iceland are finally on the board in this second half. And it's 2 from 2 from the line for Poulsen.
Maroussis averaged over 11 points per game in the last EuroBasket. In 17 minutes of action, he's only got 2 points today.
Hermansen. Saw Byrington was open there. Couldn't collect it cleanly. And Antetokounmpo has stolen and throws down a thunderslam.
Exactly what you expect out of Antetokounmpo. When you bring him on, you know you're going to get energy. He's got such a wingspan, enables him to get into the passing lanes and enables him to execute highlight plays. Oh, what a rejection!
What a block!
And Antetokounmpo is pumped now.
What a few seconds for Antetokounmpo. A stunning.
It's just that sheer athleticism that he possesses that changes games. And the Greek fans in the arena are now in full voice.
Ermolinski. Rebound collected by Poulsen. Hermansen. Seems like Greece have certainly changed strategy a little bit. They've taken off their most towering players. It was what we said would be a mismatch at the start.
With Bogoris and Antetokounmpo, they've got a more mobile front court though. A bit more speed, a bit more athleticism. I suppose they're seeing how that will affect Iceland.
Kalachi's lovely pass, just a little bit of space, and that was all that was required for Kostas Sloukas to send down the three. Stephenson over on the far side. Greece are starting to look a little more comfortable.
Absolutely, they seem to have found their rhythm again, and they look a bit more like the Greece we expected to see throughout this game. Maybe they've just chalked the second quarter down to experience.
Stephenson.
That's a beautiful move by Stephenson. Just a great right-hand floater in the lane. Really tough to defend against that, using his body to keep the defender away. Gets a great teardrop to go.
Lovely control. Antetokounmpo. Bogoris. Won't get it to go this time. Certainly can't write Iceland off. We saw what happened in the second quarter. Stephenson to Ermolinski, driving up the baseline. Feeds Byrington, quick ball in little space. Byrington back on it.
Really expect Byrington to score that one. He's disappointed with himself on that, but the ball movement here is Iceland so unselfish, moving the ball. 4 of the 5 players touched it within a second, and Byrington, easy make, but can't get it to go. He'll get a line for 2 instead.
It's like hot potato then. Iceland to within 13 points. Sloukas. Antetokounmpo trying to play that off an Iceland player, but in the end just fed Poulsen.
Stephenson deceptively quick though. When he catches the ball, his lateral movement is very quick, and you can see defenders having to take that step back to give them the space to be able to react to his movement. You're not going to overpress Stephenson.
Pavel Ermolinski. Bullshit, step back. Hermansen with the rebounds. Well, we didn't think Iceland would get too many offensive rebounds, but they seem to be growing in confidence at the boards in this second half.
Smallest player on the court, showing that it doesn't matter about height, it's about how much you want the ball.
Bogoris down the other end. Missed the shot and then gives away the foul.
Foul, Greece, number 31, Yorgos Bogoris. First personal foul, 14 foul. Both teams in substitution for Greece in number 11. Nikos Papas, and from Iceland, number 6, Christopher Akos.
Manson. Stephenson throws one up. And he gets to the rebound somehow. There's a lot of traffic to get through there. Back outside, it's Papanikolaou. And Antetokounmpo taps in the rebound.
And this is where Greece are going to make it count. It's the quick transition. When they've let Iceland set their defensive stall out, they've struggled. But this quick transition has kept the Icelandic defense open and enables these kind of plays. Antetokounmpo finding position to get that offensive tip back.
Substitution, Iceland with number 13, Williamson.
He's really come alive in the second half. And he adds the extra.
Scoring 5 points in just 6 minutes of play. That's a good impact.
Bullshit. They've tried a lot of bounce passes which have come off. That one didn't. Acox just couldn't quite pick it up.
It's always tough for a big guy to have to pick up a low bounce pass. It's a long way to come down to come back up again.
Here's Papas. Alongside Kanatis now, and he picks it up from Antetokounmpo, throws up a one-hander. And another amazing follow from Antetokounmpo.
He's trying to take over this game, and plays like that are going to make everyone's highlight reel.
Ermolinski for three. Good! Perfect response from Iceland.
Worryingly for Greece, Iceland are starting to warm up a little bit now on the offensive end, starting to find a bit more rhythm.
Well, this high-tempo stuff really suited Iceland in the first half. Papas trying to bounce pass himself, but Papanikolaou will be disappointed. Wide open, oh, careful, Wilhelmsen. And Stephenson, long two. No good. Papas, it's end-to-end stuff. He's just slowing the tempo a little. Watch for Bogoris to set the screen, that's nice.
It's interesting watching some of the Icelandic players at the moment. They're starting to get to that point of the game where fatigue is starting to kick in. You look at some of the players that played the bigger minutes, Ermolinski, Paulsen, you can start to see the fatigue. They're not moving as quick as they would. They're not addressing the defense. They're hunched over whenever they get a chance to grab some air. The rotation on Greece is where it will pay dividends now. They're going to have fresher legs coming through onto the court.
Here's Papas. Shoots one up. Logie Gunnarsson's come on in the meantime.
That's
what
an
a
amazing pass.
Incredible. Ermolinski. Oh, just won't quite rattle in, but Acox is there for the follow. And that's woken everyone up. Christopher Acox.
No surprise, the Icelandic flags waving in the crowd on plays like this. Acox chasing down the rebound, working hard. Bogoris not boxing out effectively. The last thing you want to do as a big guy is getting in a jumping competition. As Acox welcomes us to the gun show.
We've reached the call of time now.
Again, I think the Greek coaching staff will be well aware of how quickly Iceland were in the ascendancy in the second quarter, and they want to put a stop to that as quick as they can to maintain a double-digit lead.
Okay, if it's not there, we got Lloyd coming at the ball. If there's no shot, Lloyd, Winner come with the ball screen. Okay? Hey, then after that, hey, let's try and enter to Lloyd and run 5 down flat. So Lloyd's going to come over and come back.
Keep on revving him in. Support your own.
But on the Greek side, huge amount of highlight plays. The majority coming from this man and Tete Kumpo. Two-hand jam out on the break after the steal. A big rejection as well against Palsson. He's pumped for this game.
Back-to-back brilliance from Antetokounmpo. Here's Karatis. Greece up by 12, looking to extend that lead going into the fourth quarter. And that's how they can do it. Giannis Papapetrou, his first points of the afternoon. Emelinsky. Oh, clever. Managed to get the pass off in the lane. Needle pass.
Foul on Greece, number 23, Metanesis Antetokounmpo. Third personal foul, 2 shots, Iceland number 6, Christopher Akos.
With a trip to the line. Antetokounmpo's got to be careful, he's up to 3 fouls.
In only 8 minutes of play, this is one of the risky situations with the player from Antetokounmpo. He's so intense and in every passing lane that fouling situation is a risk for him.
Substitution at Team Zion, with the number 24, Heikur Palsson.
Changes continue. Actually bringing on fresh legs are going to be important here for Iceland. Here's Loki Gunnarsson, one of the fresh arrivals. Given away by Wilhelmsson. And Papas could make Iceland pay, and does.
Nikos Papas, 2 points.
But here's Gunnarsson. The other end. He got the last touch there.
And Palsson going to be a Greek ball. After back-to-back misses, going to lose confidence. But great to see Iceland wanting to get down the court so quickly.
Antetokounmpo to Papas, top of the mountain. And then denies him. There's Paulson, 16 points and counting.
Running the clock down into the final 10 seconds. Paulson looking to go to work. Isolated for him, nothing there though. Violations off the Greek though, so Iceland will get the last 4.8 seconds of the third quarter.
Substitution to Greece in number 18, Dimitris Adravanis.
Comes Papapetrou. Wilhelmsson will inbound. And he's thrown it away. So Greece are likely to have the final possession of the third quarter after all.
Substitution
and a quarter they'll be much
to Greece in number
majority, not allowing Iceland the dominant
10, Kostas Slukas.
Kalatis shoots for it with the clock ticking.
Quite surprised the officials didn't call a foul on that. An awful lot of contact.
Iceland at 45, Greece
Certainly what
61.
Kalatis is feeling, and he's making those feelings clear.
All right, everybody, 1 quarter still to play.
A good quarter for Greece. They have increased their lead from 4 to 16. Iceland not out of it yet by any stretch after we saw what they were capable of in the second quarter. But Greece will be satisfied. So Iceland 45, Greece 61, one quarter still left to play. Greece, they're not home and dry yet, are they, Mark?
No, absolutely not. What the stats show you there, though, is how important the three-point shooting contest has been in this game. Greece shooting 43% in 6 dribbles, whereas Iceland shooting a massively unimpressive 12%, only 2 of 17. They'll be wanting to change that in future games, and they'll need to as well if they want to progress on to Istanbul.
Iceland have done well from the free throw line, but their field goal shooting is right down at 32% overall, and that'll be a concern for them. But anything still possible in this spirited Iceland team.
Very interesting, though, that almost half their points have been from the free throw line. That tells you a lot about how Iceland have approached the game. They've looked to get close to the basket. They've looked to draw contact off the Greek players as they go to the basket and get the easy scores.
So final quarter. Of this Group A encounter. It's been a gripping game of basketball yet again. Stephenson, lovely pass. Oh, Antetokounmpo joins the SWAT team. Not for the first time tonight.
Beringson with a wry smile on his face on this one. He dollies it up for Antetokounmpo to bang it out into the crowd. Huge play. The athleticism on show from Antetokounmpo.
That is an enormous rejection. Malinsky to Paulsen. Just a little bit of space here for Byrington. He's reluctant to take the shot, and in the end, took too much time. Shot clock violation. This game could have a highlights reel of Antetokounmpo himself.
I think so. I think there might be a few highlights from that young man.
And here he is, Kalatis. Physical battle in there between Byrington and Georgios Papagiannis.
Yeah, Giannis, a very, very physical player. A classic back to the basket kind of player. Wants the ball in his hands and wants to take his time backing his way in. A little bit of after between Byrington and Papagiannis as well. No real necessity for that while the ball's out of play.
Kalatis. Clever, finds Papas.
Great defense by Berington there, strips it away.
And now Stephenson can't get it to drop. And the tempo's gone up again. 9 minutes left to play. Kalatis into the lane. Giannis so hungry for the ball. It's an absolute mess in there.
Always a difficult one when it's like that. Both teams just trying to get the ball, but players feel that there might be something not quite appropriate with it. Looked all fair in the hustle for me on that one. However, Papagiannis has been given a technical foul for his reaction. We'll get a closer look at it now in the replay. Both teams fighting for the ball. It's on the ground. I think it's the confusion where they don't know where the ball is that causes the issue. And Berington doesn't know where it is. It's between his legs, and that's where the issue comes from.
That was pretty fiery stuff. Here's Hermansen in the meantime. The free throw shooting has been a real strength. points now on the line. It's the argy-bargy between Papagiannis and Irington. Romancic, Stephenson. Antetokounmpo again with the turnover, with the steal. And that's put up and in off the glass.
That's a great play by Papas. It's one of those where he's used his body well, taken the contact, but maintained his shooting form throughout the contact, on the premise that the defender is going to come to the ground before he does, enabling him to get the shot away.
Manson. He had a free route to the basket for a moment then, but it was blocked off by Kalatis. Antetokounmpo. He gets going to the basket, he takes some stopping.
It's one of those, you kind of see it coming. He's obviously got the ball here and he's out on the break. As a defender, it's got to be one of the most terrifying positions to get yourself in. You know you can't step away from it. You're going to have to try and take a charge as best you can. And Antetokounmpo's got one thing in mind, and that's to put you on a poster.
Foul called on Paulsen, who's on 4 fouls now, so he's in trouble. Still 8 minutes left to play.
That is a big problem for Iceland. He's leading their scoring with 16 points and has been absolutely influential.
Manson's the other player in some foul trouble on 4. Meanwhile, Antetokounmpo gets on with the job in hand and increases Greece's lead to 19 points. Stephenson, stolen by Papas. And he banks it in for 2 more, and the lead surpasses 20 first time.
And Papas moves up to 18. Impressive performance from Papas in the game. Whenever Greece have needed him, he seems to have stepped into the breach and taken on a bigger role.
Particularly in the second half, timeout called by Iceland.
Hutchie's in for Leonard, so it's got to be you that's coming back to the ball right now. Listen, listen.
This guy tried to play one on one, he's a full foul.
Critical plays now. If Arsenal want to come back into this game, they're going to have to make one of the main reasons has been this man.
Thank you, Sam. Down, you have a few seconds. Come on, put on a show, solo show.
Inspired.
Just a little. Come on, Sam.
You've got to love Berenson's smile, though. The veteran just knowing that he's never going to compete athletically with a player like that.
Endurance will be key here, with just under 8 minutes left to play. Iceland have much left in the tank. Malinski has a good pass.
Foul Queens number 43, Thanasis Antetokounmpo, 4th personal foul. 2 shots, Iceland number 30.
4 fouls himself now.
The second is good.
1 from 2 from the line.
It's critical now for Iceland, though, not to let this get out too far. Even if they do leave the game today with the loss, there's a lot they can take from it, and confidence is going to be one of those big things. They should take a lot of positives from the game, from how they fall back into it, and how they're going to play this last 7.5 minutes. Are they going to challenge? Are they going to push Greece and make life difficult?
Get it poppin', hot tamale, dirty bass, we so bad about it. Too legit, we can't quit the party. Super freaks, no Illuminati. So
if they can reduce this 20-point deficit, that will be a great start and a real confidence boost for the Iceland team.
Iceland sending a message to the rest of Group A as well. They are meaning business. Hermansen. Hermelinsky, there wasn't any space there, but Hermansen found some somehow. That's a lovely pass. Stephenson, great move from Iceland.
Jon Arnor Stefansson.
Kalatis. Here's Papapetru. Oh, clever. Draw.
Substitution to Greece in number 17, Vangelis Manzaris. Foul, Iceland number 9, Stefansson, first personal foul, 2 shots, 3 dances.
Printezis has been one of the brightest sparks for Greece today.
Definitely a player that will be important for them if they're to progress further into the tournament, into the knockout rounds.
Missed a free throw in the second half yet. Greece in stark contrast to the first. Pulsion. Nice, and one.
Strong play by Paulson, concentration and composure as he goes to the basket. Change of direction, leaves with assist behind, gets the 2 off the glass. Takes his tally to 18 and goes to Charik strike for the extra point.
Substitution to Iceland in number 34.
Tricky for Larsen, we've not seen too much of him today. So, come on, it's late stage for Levinsky.
It's a good time to bring on a player like Glenarson. Clock's running down. Absolutely looked like a backcourt violation there. Not sure if the officials missed that one.
Puts it up.
The crowd at the Icelandic bench were making their feelings aware on that one to the officials. But Glenarson, it's a good time for him to come on and show and to learn the ropes of international basketball.
Oh, nice bounce pass again.
Basket is good.
Larsen, welcome to the game.
Great play from the youngster. Beautiful little pick and roll. Rolls himself to the basket for the 2. Good vision by Wilhelmsen. Gets his man up in the air. And Glenarson makes Papandreou commit the foul. Gets the 2 and goes to the line.
Sorry, number 19. Third personal foul. 1 shot.
His first points in international basketball. EuroBasket. Papapetru found trouble on 4. Vangelis Manzaris. It's been a real good test, this one, for Greece. At the moment, they're set to pass the test just. Antetokounmpo from the perimeter. He misses out. But Stephenson brings it to the front court. Glenarson. Poulsen. To the left.
Foul, Iceland number 9. Jon Stefansson. Second personal foul, third team foul. Substitution to Greece. In number 9, Yannis Bourousis.
Again, I think it's a great opportunity for Bourousis. He's not had the game he wanted. 2 points in 16 minutes. Numerous turnovers that were unnecessary. I think it's a great chance for him to come on 5 minutes 12 and to find some rhythm. Because ultimately, if Greece are going to progress and go for one of the medals, Bourousis is going to have to step up to the plate and be a big part of what they do.
Absolutely. Here's Manzaris from the perimeter. Good.
Number 17, Vangelis Manzaris.
Restored to 20 points. Chance for Bourousis to redeem himself somewhat in these last few minutes, as you say. Hermansen. Stephenson. This one up, draws the foul. Kumpo fouled out.
And that's the downside of a player like Kumpo. 5 fouls in just 14 minutes of action, but also in 14 minutes he's chalked up 9 points, 4 rebounds and 2 assists.
A couple of steals as well in there.
I think if you look up the definition of impact player in the basketball dictionary, you just see a picture of his smiling face, a guy that's come in, and he has, to be fair, he has changed the game. He put a lot of emphasis and energy into writing what was a bit of a wobbly Greek ship during the second quarter.
Here's Matzaris. Papas, he's had a good game. Continues to catch the eye.
Up to 20 points, and again, it's the control in the air that Papas has that is so impressive and so difficult to defend against.
Stephenson bursting into the lane. Paulsen driving up the baseline, puts one up. Larson with the offensive rebound, resets the move. Might be another rebound up for grabs here. Eventually the ball goes out of bounds, but it will remain in Icelandic possession.
As raw as Glenarson is as a basketball player, he's going to cause an awful lot of teams an awful lot of issues over the next 7 days.
Mansion, yeah, rattles in eventually. Glenarson and Iceland take on Poland in their next Group A game. Will be going toe-to-toe with Zdenek Karnowski or Damian Kulik. That'll be interesting. Here's Yanis Borousis. And that's exactly what they're missing for his game today.
Using that weak arm to find himself some space away from his defender.
Scrapping the defensive rebound that time. Printezis. Yeah, the bank is open for Georgios Printezis.
He's had a strong game tonight for Greece and will be a fundamental part of any medal bid that they make here at EuroBasket 2017.
Yeah, he's up to 17 points now. From the perimeter, just left a little short by Hermansen, and Borousis is there to gather. Papas. Swivel shot, but get past the iron. Hermansen with a lovely run. And Paulsen bursting into the lane and finishing.
Beautiful play by Paulsen. Just a change of pace and explodes to the basket, floats in with the finger roll.
Manzaris.
The never say die attitude of Wilhelmsen. Just all over Manzaris in the closing stages of this game.
He's great to watch.
Substitution from Team Greece, number 10. Kostas
already got hundreds and hundreds inside Helsinki today come from Iceland.
In number 10, Elmar Fredriksson, number 88, Brynjar Jonsson.
An easy team to like.
Oh, absolutely. They've, they embrace the spirit of these kind of tournaments.
Here's Borousis. Yeah. He's come back strongly since his reintroduction.
Taking Glenarson to school there. The veteran Borousis trying to find some confidence and rhythm himself. Just a real classic move as he takes it to the basket, draws the contact off the young big man.
And he does add the extra. Well, he's gone from 2 points to 7 points in a matter of a couple of minutes. Now taking over at the boards again. Papapetru to Borousis. Larson trying to keep him quiet. Oh, that's too easy. Oh, and thrown down with attitude by Kostas Papanikolaou.
Great one-handed flush by Papanikolaou. Makes the cut, loses his defender. Wide open and a great pass by Barousis.
Gnarsin to Hlynarsin. He's looking to finish with a flourish. Vangelis Mantzaris. Barousis, he throws it away. I mentioned for Iceland, it's Poland next for them, Greece. I think it's France, I believe. I think Greece's chances there.
That's a tough game. They'll definitely have to play at a higher level than they have today. But Greece are one of those teams that raise themselves to the big games.
It's Lucas. Georgios Papagiannis.
Substitution to Greece.
Big Georges, about 3 or 4 big Georges in this group.
From the outside, if people look at the scoreline, I don't think it's a true reflection of the game. Iceland have absolutely put the pressure on Greece. Throughout the game, it really has been the final quarter where both teams have started rotating their benches in and giving players time and enabling players to try and find some rhythm in the tournament. This isn't a near 30-point deficit game. This has been an awful tighter contest than I think Coach Missas would have wanted as an opening game of EuroBasket.
Yeah, the score has been deceiving. Here is Fredriksson. Ball thrown away again, and Greece might put Iceland to the sword. They will. They're starting to click here. Get a few freebies by a tiring Icelandic team. But this will be boosting Greek confidence. Acox, that's neat. Neat and tidy.
2 points, Christopher Acox.
I'm expecting to see maybe Acox increase his minutes in future games. He's only played 11 minutes. He's up 7 points, 3 rebounds and an assist. I think he's probably warranted a bigger play in the rotation.
Foul, Iceland number 88, Brynjar Björnsson. First personal foul. 2 shots.
Brynjar Björnsson. Greek fans are now getting into full voice.
Both free throws are good.
Fredriksson from range. And some overshoots. Greece begin their group phase at EuroBasket 2017 with, in the end, what looks like a comfortable win. In reality, it wasn't comfortable. Not at all. Iceland will take plenty of encouragement from this performance. Craig Pedersen's team ran Greece close. They trailed by just 4 at half-time. But in the end, Greece showed their qualities towards the end there, which are in abundance.
A really big thank you to all the fans.
Definitely a good game for Greece in the end. They secured the win, but they made hard work of it throughout. And Iceland can be absolutely proud of the game they put in tonight, the shifts that they've put in. They have an opportunity in this tournament still to progress. And ultimately, their main goal is going to be to get that first win for Iceland. For Greece, they've got to be looking further down the line. They've got to be looking at the podium and what they can do in the final stages. That said, They've avoided their banana skin today. Without a shadow of a doubt, Papas was absolutely key for them with 20 points. He seemed to control and get the points when Greece was struggling to find any form on the offensive end. And for the finish side, you can't complain of Paulsen's work shift for tonight. 21 points, 4 rebounds and 2 assists. That's an impressive box score for Paulsen.
Yeah, Iceland have won many fans tonight. Their non-stop, high-octane style was easy on the eye and the Greeks close. They laid down a real challenge tonight. It was an absorbing game with plenty of highlight reel moments, plenty of them from one particular man.
Yeah, he came, he saw, he conquered, and he was only here for a very short period of time, but Antetokounmpo absolutely wowed the crowd with his high-flying antics on both ends of the floor. Stealing the ball, great defensive hands, out on the break, looking to dunk the ball that time. But the brave Icelandic player stepping in the way and taking the charge, or trying to take the charge.
In the end, he was fouled out, but well, Greece managed to give an outing to pretty much everybody in their roster there, and they would have learned plenty from that. Very challenging first game for them. The second game against France, that'll be very different. A very different team, and a lot on the line in that one.
Yeah, absolutely. That's, from a neutral's point of view, that's probably one of the games of the group. France v Greece, both teams will be aiming for a podium finish. And both teams absolutely have the talent to do that, without a shadow of a doubt. So tomorrow's game, as much as it won't decide anything with regards to you know, progressing in the tournament, I think people will take it as a marker. Where are these two teams in their development? Where are they, you know, in ranking against each other? And what are their potential chances of walking away with a medal?
And a word about the Icelandic players. They've well, they put such a shift in today. They were worked so hard. Mentioned Paulsen there, 21 points. That was a stunning effort. Who else stood out for you? I mean, we were expecting to see a lot more of Tryggvi Hlanarsson, the 18-year-old. In the end, he only played sort of a bit part role, but looked bright at times.
Yeah, absolutely. Only a small role, but I think there's potential there. I think the thing that you have to look at with the box score that's very interesting, they've got 5 players on 7 points as their second top scorers. That kind of tells you all about Iceland that you need to know. They're spreading the ball. There's, outside of Paulsen, there's not a particular focus on the offensive end. You've got Hermansson, you've got Acox, who came on and did a great shift in what was limited minutes, only 12 minutes, but he put up 7 points. The veteran Beringsson got 7 points, and Stephenson got 7 points as well as Wilhelmsson. It's great to see that kind of team basketball. Sharing the ball, it's not a focus around one player, and that they're happy for numerous players within the roster to you know, come away with the points. The one player that I loved watching was Wilhelmsson. Just came with such an energy and such enthusiasm. Every second he was on the court, he was after the ball. He was, you know, trying to make things happen, and that's the spirit that Iceland need to take forward in this tournament. Absolutely.
And what would you do if you're Poland or another team in Group A and you've seen this performance from Iceland? How would you then prepare for the game against them?
Do you know what? It's tough because they're underdogs and there isn't that one person. If they have a focal point, then you target it, but otherwise you really can't target it.
Well, thanks very much. The second game's finished. Greece 90, Iceland 61.